And now, Effective Communication with Phil Zeller, CEO, Dale Carnegie, Southwest Michigan.
Question for you. Do you fear public speaking? Does just the idea of public speaking give you the heebie-jeebies? According to the Book of Lists, still the number one fear in America, to put yourself out there in front of an audience to speak. And if you think about it, it can be scary because you're not used to it, right? And people are going to judge you, and they might say something. They might take what you said wrong. And there's a million things that go through your head that say, you know what, I'm not comfortable doing this. And you know what? That's understood. That's understood. And here's something else you got to understand. In time, think about experiences in your life where you proved to yourself that you could do something. No matter what it was, it doesn't matter what it was. You proved yourself you could do it. You see, Dale Carnegie found out that most of us as people have far more courage than we ever dreamed possible. Let me give you an example. When I was a kid, like any kid growing up, I grew up in the Midwest, I would get bored. I would look for something to do, and I like to be athletic and get out there and make things happen. And so one day a buddy of mine said, hey, let's work on our agility. Let's work on our abilities to be able to jump and do these different things. And before you knew it, crazy enough, we were climbing on top of things. We were climbing up trees, climbing on buildings, climbing on houses. And then he got this great idea. He said, let's see if we can jump off these high places. So here we are working on our tuck and roll and working on our abilities to be able to deal with this stuff and jump off buildings and houses and be able to take the fall and stuff. And now some of you say, Phil, that's absolutely crazy. Come on. But you got to remember the time I grew up in. This was before the seatbelt laws were in place, right? We used to do these things as kids. And we did it to push ourselves and challenge ourselves, and even to kids today to do these things. Heck, my son tells me, Dad, do you know about parkour? Have you seen parkour? Parkour is really cool. And, of course, parkour is a training discipline using movement that was developed by our military, right? So get through these agility things. There's even shows on TV, if you see them, that they get through an obstacle course, and whoever gets through the fastest without falling is going to win the race. And they do these things. And so my son thought this was really cool. So one day we're talking about this, and I share with him how I used to jump off houses. And he's like, well, Dad, that's pretty wild. But my daughter just sat there, and she looked at me. She goes, you did what? And I said, yeah, I jumped off hures when I was your age, and actually younger than you are. I used to work on my agility and be able to do stuff like that. And she's like, oh, that's interesting. And then all of a sudden, a couple of days go by, and it comes up on a Saturday morning, and my daughter and I are home, and my wife took my son out shopping or something. They were gone. And my daughter says, Dad. I said, what? She goes, can you teach me? I said, teach you what? She goes, teach me how to jump off a house. Now, of course, she's asking Dad this, and of course, Mom's not around, and I'm thinking, yeah, I'm a typical guy, right? Sure, we could do this. So we went out the backyard. We set up the ladder, and we started at the first rung of the ladder. You don't go. Rome wasn't built in a day. You got to begin from scratch, right? Start at step one. So we started at step one, the ladder, and jumping off the ladder. And we were talking about how you have to land and how you have to position yourself. And as we worked through this process, we got to the point where we talked about tucking and rolling and doing all these things. And we were out there for about 2 hours. And then by the time 2 hours had progressed, we made it to the top of the ladder, which was 10 foot high. And she was jumping off there. And she's like, Dad, I notice as I'm doing this now, I'm just as tall as the house. And I said, why, oh my gosh, yes, you are. This is amazing. Look what you've been able to do. This is absolutely incredible. And you keep focusing and you keep doing things wonderfully. And I said, well, why do you want to do this so bad? And she's like, well, Dad, I want to do it because it's really cool. And I pride myself on my athletic ability. She plays a lot of sports and stuff, and I want to be able to do this. So through the focus, the learning, and the practice, before you know it, we got to the top of the ladder, and she says, Dad, I'm at the same height as the house. I want to jump from there. So I said, I'll tell you what, let's do it. I think you're ready. We're prepared. Medical insurance up to date. Don't tell my insurance man, right? But the funny thing about it was, she goes, Dad, can you record it? Here's my phone. I want to get it on a Snap or a Snapchat, I think it was, or Instagram. And so I recorded it. She jumped off a house, did it beautifully. Everything was just perfect. And she got up. She was so excited and so excited about what she achieved because she had far more courage than she ever thought possible. But she had to believe in herself. So in anything that you're going after in life, believe in yourself. Understand you have the courage, whether it's public speaking or anything else. Understand why you want to do it. Have the focus on getting it done. Learn how to do it. Practice doing it, and you will get really good, and you will prove it to yourself.